Britain has long struggled with the complexity of immigration, balancing economic demands with growing public needs. Views and opinions about anti-immigration and far-right extremism have been louder than ever in the UK recently. On July 29th of 2024, in Southport, a brutal stabling at the Taylor Swift-themed dance class shocked the nation, leaving 3 young girls dead and 8 other children, along with 2 adults injured. The suspect, a 17-year-old boy, was quickly arrested. But within hours, misinformation spread online, falsely identifying him as a Muslim immigrant who had recently arrived by boat. Fueled by outrage, this claim sparked violent anti-immigration riots across the UK, laying bare the deep-seated tensions in British society. The chaos that followed wasn't just a reaction to the tragedy. It exposed the severity of the country's underlying immigration crisis. In the aftermath, it became clear that it wasn't more just a flashpoint. It was a stark reflection of how the immigration debate has reached a breaking point in the UK.
We will deter illegal migrants from coming here, and we will finally stop the boats.
We can control immigration, we must control immigration, and we will.
How many people should be allowed into the country and who this should be has always been an emotive debate tied to both economic needs and national identity. This issue stretches back decades, notably to the arrival of the Windrush generation in 1948.
Where do you come from?
Jamaica.
Have you brought your children with you?
Yes,
How many?
5 children.
These Caribbean migrants were invited by the British government to help rebuild the nation after World War II, filling crucial labor shortages in public services. Despite their contribution, they faced discrimination and hostility, reflecting the tensions between welcoming immigrants and concerns over cultural change. But the story of British immigration didn't end there. In the 1960s and 70s, the migration was actually negative, as there were more people living than coming here. Until 1983, the UK has a run of positive net migration figures. In the 1990s, prosperity and immigration were on the rise. Then in 2004, the UK saw a significant wave of migration when several Eastern European countries joined the EU, granting their citizens the rights to live and work here. Freedom of movement was part of the Brexit debate, but the paradox is that only after the UK left the EU that the net migration jumps to record highs. In recent years, the UK media landscape has been dominated by reports of migrants making perilous crossing from France.
On the edge of town, they sleep in the ditches. Every morning, they wait for the trucks to arrive. The first group manages to open the door, but none of them climb on. A little further on, the driver stops. He's clearly aware of what's just happened. So you can see he's just...
However, as border checks tightened and this route became increasingly difficult, a more prevalent alternative emerged: the small boats. These small boats were overloaded with desperate men, women, and children, risking everything in the hope of reaching British shores.
This launch is utterly brazen. There is not a single policeman around here.
What's more striking is that they so happened under the watchful eyes of French police officers stationed along the coastline. Rather than intervening, they often stood by in silence, allowing the smugglers to continue their operation unhindered. Since 2010, the UK has seen a significant rise in the number of asylum applications. In the last years, this coincided with an increasing number of small boats arrivals. At its peak in 2022, 35 boats successfully crossed the English Channel every single day.
That is the taxi boat that's just arrived to pick these people up. Huge boat all the way down the beach and got it in the water, and over there is Dover. Look over there are dozens of people desperately clambering to get onto that boat. It is
This kind of news reports shown day after day create the image of a nation under attack, which its borders seemingly overwhelmed by a constant flow of illegal immigrants. For many viewers, these images become the whole story of immigration, hiding the more complex and diverse realities behind it. Recent data paints a complex picture of British attitudes towards immigration. While 43% of population believes that immigrants has a negative impact on society, another 35% see their contribution as positive. These anxieties are particularly pronounced among older generations, with only 20% of those aged 65 and over viewing immigration positively. In contrast, younger people tend to be more supportive, with 54% of 18 to 24-year-olds seeing the benefits that immigrants bring. It's understandable why concerns about immigration are so prevalent. Many see the recent number of immigrants as a strain on public resources, longer waiting times in the NHS, overcrowded schools, and increased competition for affordable housing.
One obvious drawback would be the effect on housing markets and the cost of living. And just to be clear, historically we've underbuilt by about 4 million houses anyway, so there's a problem regardless. But immigration on top of this exacerbates it, so that means higher house prices, higher rents.
There's also the fear that immigrants are taking jobs that could go to locals, especially in industry where employment is already hard to come by. Beyond the economic impact, some worry that influx of different cultures might change the social fabric of the neighborhoods, creating a sense of uncertainty about the future.
Immigration can be an economic benefit. That's the way we should look at it. It should be fair, it should be rights-based. They're additions to our country, they pay tax, they contribute. That's the way we should be looking at immigration. And also, the fact you have the small boats, and I know that's an issue much more in this part of the country, is because the Tories have cut off every legal route to immigration. That's why they've been forced into small boats. That's why people are dying in the Channel.
More immigration makes a bigger economy. Even if it doesn't make us individually better off, it does mean more money coming in to the Treasury coffers. It makes social care, it makes the higher education system easier.
It depends how you think about control. Some people think about control as low numbers. In that case, we certainly don't have low numbers at the moment. But the migration that we've had, and we do have unusually high levels of migration, these are people who are coming on visas. So these are people that the government has decided to issue visas to, whether for international study, to come for work, some people coming from Ukraine or from Hong Kong.
In this context, the experiences of immigrant entrepreneurs stand out. They are building businesses, providing jobs, and driving innovation, but they are also navigating the challenges of being perceived as foreigners in a society where not everyone welcomes them. Their stories highlight both the positive impact immigrants can have and the difficulties they still face in the UK today.
My name is Ferdi Matta, and I'm 50 years old. We moved to the country here 12.5 years ago, and I'm doing car business, buying and selling used car. I've been doing that business since I was in Egypt.
My name is Hamed Bellarousi. I came to the UK over 31 years ago. I'm originally from Tunisia. My main job is I'm a co-owner of and co-founder of H&F Automotive Limited.
My name is Brian. I come to the UK in 2019 on an entrepreneur visa. I work here mainly as a property investor, mainly on domestic and commercial properties here in Merseyside.
I've done 3 businesses. I've done 2 takeaways and 1 supermarket, and then I've done the car sales, which I love.
I worked as a restaurant bar manager and nightclub manager for a while. When my kids they were born, I switched business to be more available for my kids. So I started to be self-employed basically. And I started working with cars.
As an investor and landlord, I provide office spaces to 2 institutes. One is a college, one is a charity company providing support to addicted people. Additionally, I also provide job opportunities, including full-time jobs, to local people in order to renovate domestic properties and providing housing to the local market.
According to the Office for National Statistics, migrants contribute approximately £83 billion to the UK's economic output each year. This highlights the vital role immigration plays in boosting the nation's growth. Among these contributors are immigrant entrepreneurs, who despite a minor percentage of the overall immigration population, have a huge impact. Tier 1 visa holders, which include investors and entrepreneurs, account for less than 1% of net migration per year. For instance, only an average of 300 people are granted Tier 1 investor visas as main applicants annually. Meanwhile, 39% of the UK's fastest growing startups have at least one immigrant co-founder, showing the significant role they play in driving innovation and creating jobs across the country. Beyond their economic contributions, immigrants have also deeply enriched the cultural landscape of the UK. They bring with them diverse traditions, languages, and perspectives that have become woven into the fabric of the British society. From food to festivals, art to music, the influence of immigrant cultures is felt in everyday life, making the UK a truly multicultural nation.
We go to the church every Sunday. I go to with my family, and we pray there, and we meet together, have something to eat, and that's it.
Religious diversity, in particular, has flourished with immigration. Britain has become home to a wide variety of faiths, from Christianity to Islam, Hinduism, Sikhism, Judaism, and many more. Immigrants have not only built places of worship, but have also fostered interfaith dialogue, promoting understanding and tolerance in communities across the country.
I would say I'm more adapted to UK culture than to my culture at the moment. I still respect our tradition and my religion.
Happy birthday to you. These practices not only provide spiritual comfort, but also serve as a vital community spaces where traditions are preserved and shared with others. The celebration of different faiths has become a part of what makes the UK culturally rich, offering new perspectives and contributing to a more inclusive society.
The key here is to benefit from diversity. Everyone sees the world through cultural glasses. It's not about what you see, it's about what you perceive.
Super diversity also brings a whole range of opportunities. Obviously, if people are there from all over the world, you've got networks from across the world. People are bringing new ideas, innovation, and different cultures. But of course, there are challenges associated with how people live together when they are so different.
While the contributions of immigrants to the UK's economy and cultural diversity are undeniable, their journey is often far from easy. Behind the success stories and cultural exchanges lies a reality filled with challenges. Many immigrants, whether in their personal lives or in running their businesses, face obstacles that go beyond what meets the eye.
My journey in the UK has been incredibly challenging in the past 5 years. For example, during COVID-19, one of my tenants refused to pay me rent for over a year, which leads to substantial financial losses for my business operation.
When the war started and the COVID started, that time everything is going slow, especially in the market. And prices, going up and down. And so it's really getting hard.
COVID, oh my God, things went really very, very bad during that time. Very bad. We lost a lot.
From navigating complex visa regulations and legal systems to dealing with language barriers and cultural misunderstandings, immigrants often encounter difficulties that make everyday life more challenging. And for those running businesses, securing funding, overcoming discrimination, or being seen as outsiders can add even more pressure.
We pay a lot of money for our applications, so that takes a lot of our pockets as well.
As an immigrant, I do sometimes face discriminations from some of the local tradesmen who charge me a higher fee because they assume as a foreigner, I'm wealthy and uninformed.
Some of the customers, like when they see like you're foreign and got different language or different accent, they get a little bit annoyed. But at the end, they need me, they want the cars.
I feel welcomed and included, and that's the best thing in the UK, I think, yeah. I didn't feel any racism or anything, you know. I get on with all cultures, no issues.
In daily lives, I do feel that people are getting along pretty equally. But I also remember once in empty car park, I was harassed by some local teenagers because I look foreign.
Yes, it happened once, but not much. But when it happened, it really, I got robbed in a car. They robbed the car from our place. It was a Scout customer. They talked to my partner, they want to test drive the car now. And he said, can you come after an hour? We cannot leave the place open. And they started to say, no, we want it now. We want to test drive the car now. And when he said no again, they pushed him on the floor and the keys was in the car. So they jump in and run with the car. So it happens.
For many legal immigrants, the current social climate in the UK feels increasingly hostile. This growing unease isn't only shaped by public opinion, but also influenced by the government policies.
I can announce a 5-point plan to further curb immigration abuses and that will deliver the biggest ever reduction in net migration.
The government has continuously updated and tightened legal immigration regulations to address the country's evolving needs. However, these changes can complicate efforts to establish a stable life in the UK. As a result, many immigrants find themselves stuck in the middle. They are working hard and making contributions, but still dealing with an environment that doesn't always feel welcoming.
As an independent investor in the UK, we don't normally receive any financial support from the government. However, what I observe in this country is that the government and most of the organizations, they are more focusing on the asylum seekers and illegal migrants and providing them with housing, benefits, residency and job opportunities. They don't pay much attention to foreign entrepreneurs and skilled workers like myself.
The skilled workers, the entrepreneurs, the investors, people don't think of them, or they only see this one angle of the other immigrants that are causing a lot of trouble, that they don't speak English, that they don't know the culture, so I think the media is portraying the immigration in other countries not in an objective or of people fully aware of it.
Amid this challenging environment, these immigrant entrepreneurs have developed unique perspectives on what it takes to succeed in the UK. Despite the difficulties, they remain committed to their goals and have valuable insight for those considering making the same journey.
My advice to other immigrants who would like to come to the UK to invest is to prepare for initial losses rather than immediate profits. So you need to choose the right type of business before you make a decision to come to the UK.
I've been living here for 12 years, and it all started with skills, studying and volunteering. Have something special, don't be like others, and that's one thing that I think that really helped here is having a big variety of skills.
For any immigrant, they need to work hard and hard and hard. So believe in yourself and keep doing it.
This is ultimately about what kind of society we want to live in, and I'm clear that the majority of Brits want us to live in a welcoming and civilised society.
The future of immigration in the UK isn't just about government policies. It also depends on how open the British public is to accepting and valuing multiculturalism. By creating a welcoming and inclusive environment, the UK can strive as a diverse and vibrant society. When everyone, regardless of their background, is given the opportunity to contribute and grow, the whole nation benefits from shared progress and enrichment.
I really hope the British people could understand more about migrants, because it is not only about asylum seekers and refugees, it is also about people who come to this country with investment and skills. They are here to bring prosperities, and they are here to make contributions to the UK.
We've come from lands both near and far, chasing dreams beneath the stars, with hopes so high and hearts so grand, asking softly, is this my homeland? Is this my homeland? A place to be free, where different faces share the same dreams. Together we build a future so bright. In this new land we'll shine our light. With cultures rich and tales untold, new lives unfold as brave and bold. We stand with hope, hand in hand, wondering gently, is this my homeland?